Dragon Ball FighterZ or Dragon Ball FighterZ.
See, I think that would be a better name.
That is the true question now, isn't it? So this game coming out that everyone has been hyped for, that saw it at E3, there have been some details released about it that some people think is bad news. I've actually heard, but I would hope the majority of people would be happy by this news. So kind of the big thing that was just revealed, like I want to say within the last day or two, was the reveal that both the Super Saiyan Blue forms of Goku and Vegeta will be playable.
Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan.
That's a term that needs to die. I'm so glad that they came up with something that's not so much a mouthful, that actually makes sense.
Or SSGSS Goku or SSGSS Vegeta.
Yeah, that one. Not a fan. But apparently these new forms of Goku and Vegeta, they will play differently. So these are not these won't be fully cloned characters. I'm sure that there'll be some things that they share, of course, some of the moves, but I believe that when they translated the Japanese reveal, I guess it was a magazine ad. That's how we find. It's so weird. Like, that's just the difference between like the U.S. and Japan, and like how news breaks and stuff. Like in Japan, it's so broken in like magazines. It's strange, but this reveal basically states that I think with Goku, this form of Goku, he'll still be all around, but he will become faster with a little bit of expense at his offensive capabilities. And then Vegeta will be he'll have more of an emphasis on his combos in this form and lose some of his defensive capabilities. So it's basically, you're not just getting an outright more powerful character.
Broken character.
Yeah, it'll still be balanced. You can still use it, and it's not going to be OP'd and just everyone just plays as these two characters. Plus, it is 3-on-3, so these could be on your team. Then we also have the reveal of androids 16 and 18. You might be thinking, you skipped a number. I did. Because 17 seems, at least at this point, 17 seems to be kind of pulling a Groot here. He kind of comes in and helps 18 with certain moves, which is nice. There's been a few Dragon Ball Z fighting games that have done it this way. Now, does that mean that 17 is not going to be this is the only way he'll be in the game, or if 17 is going to be like a skin that you can pick for Android 18, or he still could be his own fleshed out character? We don't know that yet. But with 16's reveal, it did say that 16 is a strong, slow character, very similar to Boo and Cell. So he won't be very fast, but he'll be strong, which I think what they're doing with the roster is pretty interesting. And also, I believe that now they're going to the next characters that they reveal will probably be characters from the movies that are, the non-canonical characters. They also talked about a story mode, which 16 will be a part of. It'll be like a what-if scenario if 16 were resurrected with the Dragon Balls and then, fought the Z fighters or the team, the people,
Goku
the heroes,
and friends,
Goku and company. Yeah. And I'm really hoping I can get part of the closed beta on this that I think is going to go live. I think it's like on the launch day of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, or like the day before. They were gonna. I think they might have moved the date. I'm not positive.
I was gonna say, is this gonna be an Overwatch Battleborn
where
thing?
one just like creams the other? But okay, here's my deal. Why do these games have to compete? I'm gonna get both of them. I'm going to probably enjoy both of them. I feel like I'm going to enjoy this one more.
I was going to say one's clearly going to be better than the other just based off of looking at it.
Yeah, although they have released a new trailer for Marvel's Capcom Infinite, and things look to be getting better. Chun-Li has a much better face now. We can't say you have Chun-Li face. They went ahead and fixed it ahead of release, so... That's a meme that should die, I suppose. So yeah, you've expressed some interest in this game. Does any of this... so I guess some people, before I get to your commentary, your riveting commentary, which I'm sure it will be, some people, I think, weren't happy, or they didn't want multiple Saiyan forms in the game, just to kind of pad out the roster, as, of course, some Dragon Ball Z fighting games have done. Like, basically just giving you every single possible form. Imagine, I think there was even one game that I have that like has like, this is Vegeta during the Saiyan saga, and this is Vegeta during the Frieza saga, and this is Vegeta during the Cell saga. Like all basic forms, but he had different moves, and it was a little bit overwhelming. And I would agree, yeah, we don't need that. But at the same time, it was really throwing me off that, Frieza has a move where he can go Golden Frieza for a limited time. And then it wears off. And I was thinking, like, how are you going to have Golden Frieza in this game, but not Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Vegeta? Like, that would be like having Boo, but no Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Like, it's part of the same saga. If you have those characters in the game, you should have those forms in some way or another part of the game. Whether it's like a temporary transformation like Frieza, or whole new characters, which is what they are. And I don't think they're going to go crazy with them either. Like, I think this is probably it for Goku and Vegeta. You have their Super Saiyan forms, and now their Super Saiyan Blue forms, which seem like they're harder to use than their traditional Super Saiyan forms. So I don't think it's really much. I don't think people shouldn't be getting upset over that. I think it'll be just fine. Your thoughts?
Well, I know I don't know about the latest Ninja Storm game. I'm sure they did it, but in Ninja Storm 3, they had like 4 or 5 different forms of Naruto.
Oh, goodness.
And each one having like a different like a few moves in his combo list were different, or his jutsus were different in each form. Like, they had like 2 Narutos that were basically like, they looked the same, and I'm pretty sure their fighting was the same, but like there may have been like an aesthetic difference, or there was like a different
stat difference.
Then they had Sage Naruto, and then they had Nine-Tail Sage Naruto. And then, of course, they had, like, the kid Naruto, because they've got, like, for some reason, it's like, hey, we're going to throw the kids in, too,
because you can't just go back to play Ultimate Ninja Storm 1 for that stuff.
Or at all. I'm sorry, but the kids are weaker. I know they had the same thing with Sasuke, Sakura. There were a few other characters that I think had different, like, forms. So when it comes to games like that, I was like, I'm used to it. But they had such a big roster for Ninja Storm 3 that it almost didn't matter to have those in. Like, it was just extra content that was free,
right,
to have those in. So it was cool. I don't mind that. I still need to play Ninja Storm 4. That one looks really fun. But doing that with this, I don't see any harm in it. And from what I can tell, the Dragon Ball Z like fighter roster is apparently like big.
It's very big.
So,
But
as long as there's not like 7 or 8 different forms of Goku, like I think that's okay.
Yeah, and the thing is they're not. I don't think they're going to be clone characters the way that we're thinking, or the way that some people are thinking. It's just they're probably going to have different supers, maybe some different specials, maybe even some different normals or combo setups. It's an interesting thing. I like the idea of them basically saying they're going to be harder versions of the characters to use. So it's not just like everyone's just going to jump in. If you jump in playing Super Saiyan Blue Goku, you're probably going to get your butt handed to you if you play someone who's very comfortable with their character.
And I think adding a higher difficulty to using a character because of how strong they are is actually a really cool thing. And I don't know if very many games have done that.
Yeah.
That I know of. So that's actually really cool. So that you don't see like, from what I can tell based on the show and just like from people like you, like Blue Goku is like the strongest form that Goku has right now.
Yeah, right now.
Well, then I saw like Red Goku. I don't know which one's higher than the other, just based off like manga. I don't know if that's like a movie thing.
Blue is.
Okay, yeah. So Blue's there. So to have someone go in a tournament and be like regular Majin Buu, they're just really good at playing Majin Buu.
Yeah,
and that's their solid character. And then you've got like some 12-year-old playing Blue Goku, and it's just like, oh. Okay, well, this is happening. It's one thing if the kid is just a god and just destroys him because he knows how to use the character and it's a bit harder. It's another if he wins entirely based off of the character just being the strongest form of the protagonist.
Right.
Which is always going to be better than anyone, almost all the time in the canon.
Right.
So adding a difficulty curve is pretty nice.
Yeah. And I don't think that, I think this will probably, even if we get like multiple versions of Gohan, because I think people are like, well, it's nice that we have Super Saiyan 2 Gohan from the Cell games, but, what about adult Gohan? Or what about, his other forms? Or even like, Namek Saga Gohan is very different version of Gohan. It's okay if you have those in there. If you have them in there, if you kind of do the same thing where you tweak their advantages and disadvantages. And remember, this is a 3-on-3 fighting game, so you're going to want a higher roster than normal. Also, this is being developed by the same people who make the Guilty Gear games. And I think Blaze Blue also. I think they're done by the same company. But I occasionally will watch online matches of Guilty Gear. It's like XR to Revelator. I think it's like the newest version. People online play as the entire roster in those games. Like, you don't just see like the same 4 characters every time. You see the entire roster being used at varying skill levels, I might add. So this team, I think this team is probably, they know balancing. This is not going to be, I don't think it's going to be a thing where people at least for competitive play, everyone just selects the same characters. You probably will start with characters that are your favorite, like you should, because I think that's part of a fighting game's draw, is like you get to play as, a particular character that you're interested in playing as. Like
in Smash, you go into competitive, you're gonna see like 5 to 6 Marths and just enough Foxes to
I'm trying to think. I've gotten. Here's an example in Smash 4. I don't care about Roy as a character. Like in Fire Emblem, like I never played that game. I've got no ties to him. Still like to play as him, but he came like later. Like, of course, I started with Link and Pikachu and Sonic, like, and those are still characters that I'll play as. But like, you still will want to branch out, like with any fighting game. But that should be part of the appeal. And I think if it would just be so weird if these characters weren't, or these forms of Vegeta and Goku didn't make it at this point. So, and it's not a strictly Dragon Ball Z fighting game. Let's remember that. It's called Dragon Ball FighterZ or Dragon Ball FighterZ. So there's that to consider too.